Good afternoon and welcome once again to the Tom Sawyer Show. I'm Grant Wall, joined by Winona State head football coach Tom Sawyer. And Coach, in the midst of this stretch of difficult games against some of the top opponents in the league, the third straight game against one of those top teams, Augustana, on Saturday, a game that obviously you have to be very disappointed not to come away with. 6 turnovers, but you still have the ball at the end with a chance to go in and tie the game.
Yeah, the common denominator is us. And unfortunately for the Warriors right now, Grant, is that in all games except the first one, maybe with Michigan Tech, we controlled the game, both good and bad. When we play well, we play together and do things right, we can dominate teams. When we don't, we've struggled, and that's what's happened to us the last couple weeks here, is that we are just making some little mistakes that turn into game-changing mistakes, and we're trying to avoid those as best we can, but it's really we're controlling both sides. It's not like the other team's doing anything really great or really poorly. It's all of us, and so if we can get on track to do it right, good things can happen here at homecoming.
Go into that game against Augustana with Alex Nelson, a senior, third-string quarterback, playing and starting thanks to a couple injuries from the guys who have been under center so far this year. Yeah,
that's not a good formula. For most programs, you just go, oh my gosh, you're in your third quarterback. But you know what? I rallied behind Nelly. He's got plenty of skills, and even though he had 5 picks, 3 of them came off the hands of another Warrior. So it was difficult. We need to play really well around him, and that's something we just didn't do. And so I'm not going to put any heat on Alex Nelson, because he's been here 5 years in our program. He's a team guy as much as anybody I've had in 16 years. So I just really, my gut wrenched for him, because in his first start, waiting 5 years to do that, I wish we'd have played better around him, because we would have won the game.
And you mentioned the 5 interceptions. He made some really good throws in between those passes that got picked off by Augustana.
Yeah, absolutely. Jay Adams played very well. Tyler Spear came back after having a few drops last week against Duluth. He comes back and had like 6 receptions. Jay did, and Tyler Spear played excellent. So we have moments where we're really playing well, and you go, okay, there it is, here we go, and then something weird happens, and we go the other way. So I wish I could sort it out. If I did, I'll write a book and we'll all make millions. But right now, it's just kids doing little things right, and we did at times, and that was one of the occasions where Nelly really played well.
The offensive line in the run game took a step positively in the right direction. Both Rayon Simmons, Theo Burkett go for over 50 yards, a real group effort, as you did some really good things on the ground.
Well, another one of those deals that just it kind of hits you it sticks you in the heart, where Theo comes out in the first half and dominates. He's all over the place, running for about 9 yards a crack. He has a great kickoff return. The guy called back, so that cost us about 60 yards, and then he has a concussion. So all of a sudden, early in the second quarter, he disappears, and the kid that's playing the best also has to sit on the sideline for the rest of the game. So it's just like we can't catch a break, man. And but we have to overcome that. We have to play better. We have to work harder, and good things will happen.
We'll put this one in the rear view. Some exciting things coming up this week. Concordia St. Paul, a team that beat Wayne State on Saturday. They come into town, homecoming. It's going to be another real charged atmosphere here at Verizon Wireless Stadium.
Yeah, another week where everything's right. We're going to have good weather again, it looks like. So, we're looking at a great weekend, not just a game, but a great weekend of homecoming activities. And but more importantly, is we got to go there, play hard, or same thing can happen again with this team. They got a quarterback in Spencer Ohm that's from Blooming Prairie, just down the road. He's very good. He didn't play the first 5 games. Now the last couple games, he's coming along and coming alive. We have got to get to him, got to get some heat on him, and keep him away from big plays. And if we do that, we'll win the game.
They're a team that likes to throw the ball a lot. They chuck it all over the field. What do you have to do to slow down that passing attack?
Hit the quarterback. We got to hit the quarterback. You got to put a lot of pressure on him. He likes to step up in the pocket. We got to find some ways to get to him, because he is very good, and he likes to run around. He doesn't run to run it. He runs to throw it, and a little different than some other quarterbacks we've seen, where this kid wants to sling it around here. And we have to have good cover. And what they really do, it kind of gets you, is when they start to scramble around, they take off, and he heaves it deep, and he's good at it. And that's something we got to stay on top of our game, to not come running up there when he takes off.
Absolutely. And a game where, even though you've had losses 3 straight weeks, a game.
I thought you said we were putting that in the rearview mirror.
We are.
Okay, Grant.
We'll finish the question. You'll see where I'm going here. Losses 3 straight weeks. However, there's still so much to be played for. 4 games remaining. The postseason is still a definite possibility and something this team can grab onto.
Yeah, in our whole season, everybody talks about that, but we're trying to just do 1 week at a time, Grant. And I really think that if our kids come to play, we had a meeting with our 18 seniors. I just want these guys to come out and play the best they can. Whatever happens, happens, and it's going to be positive if we do that. So yeah, I have no expectations except win all the games we have left, and we should. 2 here in Winona and 2 on the road, and do things right. That'll happen. Absolutely.
1 o'clock here at Verizon Wireless Stadium, the Warriors and Concordia St. Paul. It's going to be a great afternoon with everything going on campus. The Hall of Fame inductions for the athletic department on Friday, the game Saturday. Going to be a great weekend. Thanks very much, Coach Sawyer. We will see you on the sidelines on Saturday, and we will be right back on the Tom Sawyer Show after this.
Financial startophobia. Fear of financial endeavors causing putting off till the day after tomorrow that which should have been done the day before yesterday.
If you have financial startophobia, I would recommend Merchants Bank. I had a little touch of financial startophobia, had a good recommendation, and went to the bank and had a great experience. Merchants Bank has personal service. I'm not afraid of anything. They've been around for over 130 years. You know who you're dealing with. Merchants Bank, the bank that's service built.
Are you looking for great off-campus housing? Great River Management and Sales has a large selection of houses and apartments representing many of Winona's property owners. Owners and renters rely on Great River Management. Stop by the Great River Boat at Main and Broadway and see what we can do for you.
And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show. A special guest here with us this afternoon, Joe Reed. He is the Student Union and Activities Director here at Winona State, very involved in everything going on with the homecoming festivities. Joe, it's great to have you here.
Yes.
Just give us some highlights of some of the things that are going to be going on campus this week.
Oh, God, it's a crazy week. And the first thing I want to mention is the medallion hunt. Every year we hide a medallion on campus, and as of Monday, we had the first clue out at the WSU update. So every day, every morning, you should see the students are actually up at 4 in the morning, because that's when the update comes out, is what I believe, getting those clues. So every day, $50 to whoever finds it first. So that's going on all day, Monday through Friday.
And do you know where the medallion is hidden each day?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Oh, it's hidden one spot.
Then we will talk a little bit after the show's over.
That's all right. That's okay. But that's always fun. And it's amazing how many students actually go out throughout campus and try and find that. It's pretty cool.
A great way to get student involvement.
Absolutely. And because of the time of year that we're doing the homecoming, Tuesday afternoon from 1 to 3 in Crisco down in the Activity Center, we're doing a pumpkin carving, pumpkin painting contest. And there'll be some cash prizes and awards for that as well. We got 400 pumpkins.
Wow.
So any student can come up and do their thing and see who gets to win. And the King and Queen from Coronation Tuesday night, which is at 7:30 in Thompson Auditorium along with a concert, we'll pick the winners of the pumpkin contest. So Tuesday's kind of enveloped into that. It's kind of neat, something different. And then, let's go on to Thursday. This is different. Historically, we used to do the Second City Comedy Show out of Chicago, and we thought we'd mix it up a little bit. There's a comedy duo called Dave and Ethan's Dating Comedy Techniques. And these guys used to double date all the time, and they wrote material on all the things that can go wrong dating and double dating. But it's a comedy, but it's also a message. A strong message to college students on the dating scene and how it's done and all that kind of stuff. So that's Thursday night, no charge, in Thompson Auditorium at 7:30. And Friday is a big day. We get coaches, players, we get the Pep Fest going. Club Fair starts at 11 o'clock, goes till 2. Oreo eating contest. We're supplying water. That's it. So and we got the orange stuffed Oreos. So that'll meet with the theme. So that'll be out in the courtyard with the club fair. Pep Fest starts at high noon. So Coach and some of his players, I believe the freshmen and red shirts, will be in the tent serving. We got corn dogs and chips and lemonade this year.
Very nice.
Dr. O'Malley will be speaking, Athletic Director Holstead, and I believe Coach Dave Simon, along with Coach Sawyer, and some of the team captains will be out there to say some words. The cheer and dance team, And like Coach mentioned earlier, I think the weather's going to cooperate, and the whole courtyard is just going to be live and kicking. And it just so happens, we were talking earlier, that it's MEA weekend. So we're going to have a lot of prospective high school students from the region here visiting on campus. Good. So they're going to see it in its prime. Absolutely,
and they'll get to see everything that Winona State has to offer, and especially on a special weekend like this.
Yeah, so we look forward to it this year.
One thing that this year, every year has a theme. This year's theme is Monster Mash.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit how that theme kind of evolved and everything that goes into selecting the theme each year.
Well, basically because of the time of year that we're having homecoming, it's a little later this year, so we try to merge it in with Halloween. And our students, our committee came up with the theme, and I'm like, perfect. Because to be honest, we try to gear the theme towards the parade a little bit, because what can the students do for the parade? And then they work off of that. So Monster Mash just seemed to fit in quite nicely. And I'm hearing some unique ideas for floats already for the parade, which is Saturday at 10 o'clock down on Huff Street. And there's also prizes for the student clubs, first, second, and third, to win some cash for their club with the floats that they have. And I was actually working on the parade today, and I'm up to 95 entries.
Good.
So it's a long one. It's fun. I always hear it's one of the better ones in town, and the mayor told me that. So I'm not doing this. The mayor Miller is going to be in the parade. He likes that. And all the student groups, clubs, organizations. Half of the athletics teams are going to be out there. Men's and women's basketball, women's volleyball, the football team, track and field, the gymnastic team are going to be out there. That's going to be fun. All the sports clubs, international clubs, our Hall of Fame inductees, our distinguished alums, on and on and on.
So. Absolutely. And not only are all the regular homecoming activities going on, but there's also a reunion of the 2001 football championship team, the conference title winning team. So just a lot of things going on. And we can't forget, after that parade Saturday morning, then it's the big show.
The big show,
the football team.
Yeah. Then we give it to Coach Sawyer and let him do his thing.
That's right. Your responsibilities are done by that point.
I'm done. I'm loose. I can't wait to watch the game and have some fun. And then we'll take care of the halftime festivities, like honoring that team and the court, the homecoming court, and the Hall of Fame inductees. And our grand marshals this year, by the way, are Jim and Nancy Reynolds.
Excellent.
Who both taught here at the university. They're very involved in community and always giving of themselves, so we're honoring them as well. I want to get a plug in for our grand marshals for the parade.
Very good, and it's going to be a very, very busy week, a very exciting week, a lot of fun things to do. If you're looking for a calendar of events, you can check out winona.edu. They'll have everything for this week and everything that's going on. Joe, appreciate you coming out. Thanks very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
We'll see you all week around campus.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back after this.
Are you looking for great off-campus housing? Great River Management and Sales has a large selection of houses and apartments representing many of Winona's property owners. Owners and renters rely on Great River Management. Stop by the Great River Boat at Main and Broadway and see what we can do for you.
Financial startophobia. Fear of financial endeavors causing putting off till the day after tomorrow that which should have been done the day before yesterday.
If you have financial startophobia, I would recommend Merchants Bank. I had a little touch of financial startophobia, had a good recommendation, and went to the bank and had a great experience. Merchants Bank has personal service. I'm not afraid of anything. They've been around for over 130 years. You know who you're dealing with. Merchants Bank, the bank that's service built.
And welcome back to the Tom Sawyer Show. One more time this week, now joined by running backs coach Mike Budashevsky. And Coach Budashevsky, you have three of the big playmakers on this Warrior squad that you get to coach every day in Rayon Simmons, Theo Burkett, and Curtis Dewberry. A group that has struggled a little bit the last couple weeks, but started to find their groove a little bit at times against Augustine on Saturday.
Yeah. I guess they've kind of been named the three-headed monster, which is it's a great nickname for those guys. All three of them tremendous athletes, tremendous competitors. All are very good at what they do. Theo is kind of our do-it-all, where he's got the power as a bigger back, and he also has some elusiveness when he gets out in the open field. Curtis is our scat back, where he's probably the best in the conference, if not the nation, with the ball in his hands in space. One-on-one with the safety, I'll take Curtis Dewberry 10 times out of 10. And then Rayon Simmons just has a knack for getting extra yards and yards after contact. He keeps his feet churning. He's a tough runner. But having all three of those guys has been a blessing for me. And now that we're starting to get these guys back a little bit, they've all been a little bit dinged up. But we're getting them back to healthy, which is good.
Rayon Simmons closing in on 3,000 career yards. He's 4th all time. You've got to see him progress in his 3 years here so far. What has he done to put up those numbers like that, and what has he done to get better from that first day he was on campus?
The great thing is that I've coached Rayon from his first snap here till now. So his first day was my first day, and seeing him develop and mature has been great, not only as a football player but as a person. His maturity level and the way that he handles different situations has really become apparent, in the past year or two, and seeing him really mature has been an awesome experience for me. And as an athlete, he came in and understanding our zone system. He's more of a power back. He likes getting downhill and running guys over. We're understanding our zone stuff, where we have to read a guy and cut back and moving his eyes from defender to defender. It took him a little while to develop that, about a year and a half, to really get a full fall and a spring ball to get that. So, but we're lucky to have him, and he's been doing a great job.
And now that he has figured it out, we've really been able to see the results.
Yeah, I tell you what, and he's a guy that when he's rolling, the team's rolling. And when he's running with confidence, the team plays with confidence. And we haven't seen that in the past couple of weeks, and he's been battling his thigh bruise. And, last week, Saturday at Augustana, he finally kind of started getting a roll again, which is good to see him do and get up to full speed. And we're anticipating him for Concordia this week to be at full speed and have a heck of a game.
It was a group of backs, Rayon especially, who played so well in the first 4 games of the year, then kind of struggled a little bit in the last couple games. And like we've said, has started to get things going again. What do you have to do going forward to get those guys really rolling the way they were against, a St. Cloud and an Upper Iowa earlier this year?
Yeah, we started off the season with a pretty poor run game versus Tech, and then we came out versus St. Cloud and Upper Iowa, just ran the ball with confidence. And now that we've had 3 games here where we haven't really gotten a run game going as much as we wanted to, last game at Augustana they started to run it with confidence. Having Theo and Curtis and Rayon, all 3 of those guys running the ball. Sometimes when we get down in games, we pass the ball a little bit more. At Augustana, we stuck to our run game, and it was good to see those guys get out there. So we need to make sure that we give them the ball, and we need to make sure that those guys are prepared. So my job as a running backs coach is to make sure that they understand the defenses that they're going to see, where their cutback lanes are going to be, and who we're going to pick on offensively, so that they know, hey, is it a safety coming up? Is he going to go for my ankles, or is he going to try to take me up top? Because then their open field moves will obviously change for that.
And we could spend the next hour talking about just how good those guys are, which then leads to an interesting question. You have 3 guys who on any other team would probably deserve 20 to 25 touches every game, but that's just something that you can't do when you're splitting carries between 3 people. So how do you work it to give everybody the touches that they need and game plan to be for the most advantage for the Warrior offense?
Yeah. Well, you kind of nailed it on the head, where they all deserve touches, and they know that they deserve touches, and they're all fierce competitors. So they want to make sure that they get the ball. They want to be the guy scoring the touchdowns and getting all the cheers. But it's a difficult situation. It's been a difficult situation for 3 years now. And, certain guys run certain plays very well. Curtis, getting him the ball on the edge and getting him in the outside. So we're starting to use him a little bit more as a slot wide receiver, putting him in motion, giving him some tosses, letting him get in space to do what he does best. So if one of those plays is called, Curtis has to be on the field. Rayon's very good at when we run our power game, we run G. When we're coming downhill, he's very good at that. And once he gets on a roll, he stays on a roll. So if he's running the ball well, he stays in the game, and we'll rotate some other wide receivers or tight ends. And then Theo's kind of one of those guys where he can really do it all. So that's why we also put in what we call our turbo package, which is all 3 of the backs on the field at the same time. So we've got one guy blocking, one guy running a route, and one guy running the ball. So with that combination of those 3 guys, it really is kind of giving defenses some fits to say, okay, we can't concentrate on Curtis because you also have Ryan and Theo in the backfield.
And gives you a lot of options.
It does.
When you can have all three of those guys on the field as well.
It does. It's a good problem to have.
Yes. Yes, very much so. Well, thank you very much, Coach, for joining us today. That's all the time we have here on a busy Tom Sawyer Show. We will see you all Saturday, 1 p.m. here at Verizon Wireless Stadium as the Warriors take on Concordia St. Paul. Thanks very much for watching.